And we're live. Okay, so today I had one Mongoose customer who has since become a friend of mine and one of my favorite podcast hosts of the I Dream of Cameras podcast, Jeff Greenstein, had an Olympus Pen digital camera, which is maybe a good camera, but it is the only camera that won't be triggered by a Mongoose. I think the Olympus engineers either send a pulse through the triggering port, or they send a specific voltage and look for that voltage. And how the Mongoose works doesn't work like that. It works for every single other camera. However, we found that Jeff was nice enough to get on the Google Meets with me and do some tests with his camera, and we were able to manually trigger the camera by shorting some uh, of the contacts on the micro plug end of his cable release. So I built him a electromechanical trigger that used a relay to short that circuit, and that worked. However, electronics engineering 101 I missed, and I got cute, and I took the power from the Mongoose with a Ethernet cable, and the power to actuate the, what do you say, the solenoid inside of the relay. It worked. It triggered in fast mode only, but it would dip the power being supplied to the sensor, so it would throw off the automatic mode with his trigger connected. So I'm going to make him a new one today, and I am embarrassed to make him a second power plug for his device. But I think this is a useful prototype for triggering other things. So I have this Black & Decker 5-volt supply from some old piece of electronics that I have. I'm going to cut it up, and some wires, and a relay, and a little project box and hot glue. And yeah, so today that's what I'm going to do. So let's see. This side needs to go to his trigger. It can be the short side. I'm going to use my wire strippers and get these guys open. Anyway, if anybody's out there watching and wants to come chat, I'll put you up in this part of the screen. The link is down here. Can't put it in the chat, otherwise we get Google bombed by kids who should be in school. Yeah, so I'm going to build this trigger today and then test it with a Mongoose in automatic mode and make sure that nothing funky is going on with the automatic mode sensor routine. And I think it shouldn't, because I'm not drawing any power through this trigger. It has its own supply. That one. There we go. So, oh, need a screwdriver. Should do. It's been a while since I have live streamed anything, but it's nice to take the opportunity to talk to some people, if anybody's out there. Now it's Thursday morning for most people in the US's work week. Probably not too many people sitting at home watching me tinker, but yeah. Okay, so let's see. I already have a snaggle of wires on my desk. Cut this barrel jack off. Save that for later. Have 2 wires. I guess the first thing we should do is figure out the polarity of this guy. Handy voltmeter. Set it to 20 volts. Who is positive and who is negative? Doesn't work. And DC voltage. Nothing's coming out. Where's my electrons? Okay, so I'm going to say that that power supply is dead. If we're plugged in over there, we are. Let's try another one. I luckily have many power supplies of old electronics. Okay, this one was from an old Fuji S2, which I no longer have. Probably spent my life savings on that camera, which is now worth 20 bucks, which is basically the cost of shipping. But let's see. Okay, so I'm going to guess this outer shielding is the negative. Ground. Untwist. Interesting coaxial cable. Keep that nice and clean. What camera are you making the trigger? I'm making this trigger for an Olympus Pen something or other digital. It's a weirdo camera. I wouldn't suggest it, although Jeff seems to like it. More of a Sony, Nikon, Canon man myself, but okay. Willing to do a little bit of prototyping to make the one Mongoose work. Okay, so now do we get 5 volts? This one should be ground if I were designing it. Yep, 5.4 volts. Perfect. And just to make sure, if I swap them around, it's negative. Okay, great. Unplug that. Put the voltmeter away for now. Nick, what are you up to today? All right, so the side that plugs into the Mongoose is, so I bet, white and yellow together with ground. Red to the in port should do it. We will actually test this on a Mongoose at some point. I'm just going to twist the wires for now, make sure I have the connections correct before I solder them all together. You don't need this shielding wire. Copper splinters in my fingers. Okay, so DC plus. It's this guy. I much prefer digital logic with the DC plus plus. Okay. Positive, negative. Okay, strip this a little bit more. Make it easier on me. Stripped all these wires way further back than they need to be, but make it easier to test here, and I'll cut them down before I ship this thing and glue it all together. And wires are so little and my fingers are so fat. I need to hire some neighborhood children to do this for me. Not good at prototyping, but they would be good at assembly. Okay, so it's a high trigger. I want a low trigger. Change the jumper here. This module. Okay. Now, let's plug this guy in. See if it powers on. Okay. And if I short these guys together, clicks. Very good. Okay. I'm going to put the output on. I feel confident enough, and then we'll test it with a Mongoose itself. Nick says, just finished work for today, and we'll go meet some close friends for chat about cars and cameras. Might bust out the Pentacon 6 with some Ektachrome and do car light painting. That sounds fun. I also very much enjoy cars and cameras. I had a friend come over yesterday, and I tore out the center console in his 2011 Kia Forte and swapped the SRS supplemental restraint system module, which was basically the passenger side airbag module for that car. And then we still read the same broken codes from the scanner, which I think is the weight sensor. And my buddy was like, hey, can I convince you to go to the junkyard? And I said, nope, I love the junkyard, but I have work. And what he needs to swap is one connector and uh, four one connector and four bolts. So he can do that by himself. I would love to go with him. I really love the junkyard here in Albuquerque, but got other things to do, man. I'm assuming that NC is normally closed and NO is normally open on this module. We'll find out soon enough. And we'll test this thing with my Sony to make sure it triggers that. This trigger will work with any camera, but is unnecessary for all cameras except the Olympus Pen digital cameras. Other Olympuses seem to be fine with the Mongoose trigger. I think Olympus just got a little greedy and didn't want third-party intervalometers working here. Okay. So now what do I need? I need a camera to test, a Mongoose to test. I'll be right back. Camera is on. And yeah, seems like it's working. Intentionally trigger the right contacts for the screwdriver. Okay, let's say that works. Now let's set up a Mongoose, test that, and then test its automatic mode. I'm going to walk away for a second grab a Mongoose and the film strip to make sure that the automatic mode works. I'll be right back. Alright, here we go. So, first step, this guy goes into the trigger port. I'm going to connect the scan module and connect the power to the trigger port over here. And then, that's not good. Switch this to a high level trigger. Okay. Let's power the Mongoose on. We need a better power supply here. It's not working. Why? Okay. Let's see. It's back on low. Oh, I see why. Because I stripped these guys enough that they could contact here while not glued in. Always kind of a tough problem is making sure your prototypes are modifiable, but also that the wires won't wiggle. Okay, so let's try this again. Turn this thing on. That ain't right. See? No. Let's think for a second. I see. I see. Okay. Let's try plugging this guy in over here. Even without them shorted. Huh. Okay, we got somebody here. Marcos. Hey, Marcos.
Hey man,
How are
how
you?
you doing?
Oh,
Are
I'm
you
okay.
are you going live now?
I am live. This is one of my last responsibilities for the Mongoose right now. I am. What am I doing? I am making a trigger for one person out of 86 or 87, plus the 20 something that I sent out as tester units that doesn't work with his camera. And so I made him a electromechanical trigger. Um, and then that trigger worked. It triggered, but it also relied on 5 volts from the Mongoose, and the 5 volt supply is very low amperage, and also the sensors relied on 5 volt supply, and so it basically just it tanked the automatic mode. It did some weird things, and so I'm making a second electromechanical trigger with its own power supply that I cut out of a camera. So we'll get there. It's a little bit of extra work, but it's just one weird customer who was very nice, and so I'm trying to make that work.
Good, good. Well, here you I don't know if you seen the I don't know. I think we have a donkey running this country
Yeah,
or
maybe.
something like that because it's unbelievable.
Uh,
We are in the same spot as we've been in the last year, like exactly the same. Like
are you guys not?
nothing.
Are you not getting the vaccine rollout?
The problem is that the vaccination is like so slow that the probability of developing, because of course the vaccine is very good for um, the COVID-19 for like um, preparing the immunological system, but also it can help to develop new variants. So the secret about a vaccine, and the only way a vaccine works, is if everyone gets it,
Right.
and then you eradicate the virus. So you
Yes.
don't keep the virus always updating himself and
Of course.
evolving. So you have to annihilate it, right? So the only way to that work is you have to vaccine all the people that are the main vectors, and then probably you have a better result. And what's going on here is that the vaccination speed is so slow, and it's so many people to get vaccinated that probably uh,
You'll
we
have
are
20 mutants by the time people get vaccinated.
exactly. So
Yeah, I've been
uh,
worried about that
now
here.
yeah, now the entire world is worried about Brazil on closing borders and everything because probably here is like the
The new
10th
wet
of
markets.
kryptonite.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's like,
Uh,
man, Brazilian people, they didn't believe it, but this guy is like a professional shit maker, you know?
yeah.
He,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's really like, oh man, I did a shit. It was like it wasn't on purpose. No, he does it on purpose, and he's very good on making it. You know,
Uh huh. Uh huh.
and it's complicated. The other day, I received a request for 400 infusion pumps that they didn't had in the ICUs. Like 400 is like not much, but they cannot find it, and imports are delayed and everything. So and I said to the guys in the hospital, man, they didn't let us made ventilators, imagine infusion pumps.
Yeah, yeah, that's a serious piece of hardware.
Yeah.
Let's see, hang on, let's see if this works. Oh yeah, we got it now. There we go. Camera is triggering once. Oh, let's see. Camera's not on. The reverse. Okay, cool. Cool. We're getting there. Um, what else is going on with you besides hunting for medical supplies? Emergency.
I had to came to Sao Paulo because the the things are pretty ugly, and so I couldn't be anymore on quarantine where I was, as I told you,
Hmm.
uh, floating.
How's the boat otherwise?
Yeah, probably in a few weeks or next week, if I'm lucky, I can go there. This machine is getting pretty. It's like it's a heavy scanner, right?
It's
Because
it, yeah.
I didn't feel it in my hands, but I see that it's like
Everybody is surprised at how heavy it is. There's a lot of metal inside of it, even though the case is plastic. But the next one I started working on a little bit. I have not really told people about this. I told you about it, but this one weighs like 4 pounds. I made another scanning trigger that I will announce. I'll tell you about it later privately, but I'll announce it like next week. I think I'm waiting for some boards. Really kind of on a little bit of a roll ever since I stopped having to make the mongoose all day every day for 7 days a week. Hey, hang on one second. Let's test this thing. See if the trigger ruins the automatic mode or this one works. All right,
okay.
it's making its test scan. Yeah, okay. Let's try. I'm gonna try once more to calibrate it, but that worked. I was having some calibration issues with this thing. I want to, before I ship this guy a third, I want to make sure that every possible combination works. The last time I tested the trigger, I was like, "Trigger works great." I sent it to him, and he said, "Great, but the automatic mode doesn't work now." And what are you talking about? And we went
Well,
back and forth, and I figured out that I was a dummy.
it's not a speed problem, right?
No, what happened was is there's two mains voltages in the Mongoose. There's a 9-volt line, which is high amperage, which drives the motor, and a 5-volt line that drives the sensor and the logic. But that's very, very, very low power. Um, but I got cute when I sent him the first trigger, and instead of adding a secondary power supply, I had these extra ports on the Mongoose that do some other things that I haven't announced, and I knew some of them had 5-volt lines on them. So I had an Ethernet port, and I took the 5 volts and I used that to power the trigger, so he wouldn't have to have two power lines, right? And it worked. But the problem is the solenoid is a high amperage device on that 5-volt line, which I just wasn't thinking about it right. And I'm 90% sure that this is the problem, and I think I've confirmed it just now. But um,
Yeah,
what happened was the solenoid would pulse and it would draw so much power that it would tank the voltage for the logic and the sensors. And the sensors were getting terrible readings and it wasn't able to automatically advance. And so I said, look, I don't know what to do. Like I'm embarrassed to send you a device that has two separate power plugs for the wall, but other than totally redesigning it for this one weirdo camera that won't trigger normally, I don't know what to do. He said, if it works, just make me that thing. I got two outlets, and I said okay. And that was
yeah,
almost a week ago now. I've been involved in some other things, but let's see finally if this thing works and aligns where it's supposed to. Now that I have calibrated the alignment, making its sensitometry pass. Okay, let's try one more with a lower sensitivity. geez.
So Ethan, I have to go, but I'll keep you updated. I have a new project that I'm gonna request your
Does it involve lasers?
yeah, kind of lasers, plastic,
Okay. Okay.
CNC machining, and another problem very common in Brazil that we call favelas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so I'm
familiar.
gonna yeah, it's kind of project, and we name it Life After Plastic.
Okay.
And
Is
I think you're gonna like it because,
I'm so
anyways,
curious
I'm,
now.
I'm I'm gonna find a way to provide you material for your cameras.
Okay. Oh my God. Are you
Yeah,
uh, uh uh, are you getting into some sort of precious plastics filament extrusion out of recycled plastics?
kind of. Yeah, that
Yeah,
also.
that seems like such a headache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
One, two.
anyways, that's another parallel project.
Cool. Um. Well, seeing
But
you.
anyways, I can't catch up with everything that you post, but I've been following your stuff, and when I see you and I have like 5, 10, 15 minutes to talk, I join the meeting.
Yeah, it's really nice that you hop on. I was just gonna sit here in silence and solder wires and glue things together.
Yeah. I think the one of the bad things of working with you all guys last year is that now I arrive at my dad's home and he has a fucking awesome lab, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he realized that he gotta have a really good lab to work with making stuff, because things aren't like in the 80s that with a iron soldering and just electronics, and now he has like microscopes, SMD solders, like a tool set on the wall that
Wait.
you
Hey, did
arrive at.
did the um did the oscilloscope ever show up?
Yeah,
Oh,
he
awesome.
uses it every day.
Great. You know,
Yeah,
in the last 2 months, I bought two soldering stations. So first, I bought this one because I burned out my old. I just had an iron. You know, I bought it for $3, and then I soldered a lot of these buttons on the Mongoose, like kind of cockeyed, and so I had a lot
yeah,
of rejects. And I was like, is it cheaper to desolder them and fix those boards, or just build new boards? And I I I couldn't tell, but I just thought like, okay, I need this tool, and so I bought like a 900-degree heat gun soldering station. So I've been desoldering things. I haven't used it to fix those boards; they're still sitting in a pile. What did I use it for the other day? Oh, I manually desoldered these LEDs on a surface mount device I had that are like
yeah,
half the size of a grain of rice, and then manually soldered new ones back onto it. It was uh,
yeah.
it was very good. Oh, Bennett wants to.
And like he's pretty happy because he bought like an AliExpress $20 digital microscope or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of junk that just works, and it's like you connect it to the monitor, and
Mm-hmm.
it displays the image, right? And he's like very happy soldering SMD components,
It's really
and I
fun.
say, hey dad, you can fix the laptop's BIOS right now, because
Ah.
like
Yeah.
now you can fix all this junk you have on the side that you could never fix it. And no, he's very happy and he has a lot of tools there. And anyways, like it was a very good thing for him, I think so. And now he got really like on the likes of CNC machining. He wants to build a CNC machine for PCBs and cutting
Awesome.
aluminum sheets and that kind of stuff.
So I don't know. I
So
mean, shipping is crazy in Brazil, but like, we should talk about places that just make PCBs almost for free. I have three orders out right now. One order just got shipped in or shipped out from China this morning. Like it's cheaper than you can mill a PCB, and it's like professional quality. Um,
Yeah, yeah. But I think the one good thing about the CNC is the prototyping, right? Because once you if you need 100 birds, like
no, but
for
like even okay, so I originally got into 3D printing because I was going to put a laser on this thing. Hey Bennett, you're live. Um, uh,
Woo! What's up,
uh,
YouTube? What's up, all my bros?
uh,
Twitch chat, where you at?
I was going to put a laser on a 3D printer for making proto boards, but like I'm getting proto boards now in 6 days. So I send the file out, and 6 days later, it comes to me perfect. And so it's like
yeah,
almost not worth doing it myself. But like, I don't know. If I had the space, I think I would. I guess I have the laser here. There's no reason why I can't get some copper clad FR4, but uh, yeah, it's cheap and fast now.
yeah, yeah. He sent some boards to be made on one of those I think Chinese companies
Yeah.
that make it online.
Hmm.
But anyways, he's on the mood of creating things. That's what makes me feel happy to
Hmm.
join him. But
That's great.
Ethan, I have to go, man, and nice to
No.
meet you, Bennett. Sorry, I couldn't stay.
No, why don't you like me?
All right, Marcos. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, man.
Hey, Benny.
What's up? How are you,
Um,
dude?
good. I need to not talk to you for about well, when my phone boots, for about 30 seconds, so that I can make this video. But I probably have to charge it. Hang on one sec. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna leave too. Fuck that.
Okay.
I'm still on headphone if you wanna
Oh,
chat.
cool. Yeah, that's fine. I'm
Yeah,
out of
dude. How are you?
cameras. I'm using one camera to videotape myself for the internet, and one camera to test this thing. And I want to make a little video to show the guy I'm shipping this to that it does work in case it shows up to his house and doesn't work. But I have, yes, I have a 5D buried, but I'll just wait for my iPhone to. Anyway, how are you?
I'm pretty good, dude. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. This is like the last of my Mongoose responsibilities.
Yeah, I
Um,
was surprised to see you're working on a Mongoose related project, but I guess if it's like the end of the road.
yeah, it's a one-off for a real nice guy who happens to have a weird camera that doesn't trigger with the Mongoose, and I made him a trigger, and that trigger worked, but like broke some other functions while it was plugged in, and so now I have
Sad.
a new trigger that does not break those functions. Well, I guess I can solder this all together while
I'm gonna get a couple FU4 boards and make my own copper templates or whatever.
FR4.
Nice, me too. Steph's here. She's got the day off.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we're just chilling for now. I'm gonna go into the lab this afternoon though.
Making some worms
Oh yeah,
or
actually, I'm
or
batching.
spinning their body parts.
No, it's growing them up these days again. Just about to start a new cycle, so I haven't been growing anything for a minute. Basically, since it's been like almost a month since I've done a bench experiment,
Mm-hmm.
and then got some new strains, and they're like related to the end of a long project. So yeah, I want to get it done. Very curious to see if we figured something out or not. Probably not. I
Yeah.
mean, realistically, realistically speaking, probably not. But it would be
Yeah.
cool. It would be cool if it would. So
You're still my
it's like
favorite
a long.
vermiculturist.
Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna sneeze. I apologize. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh man, yeah, I gave a presentation yesterday, and it went pretty well. I was pretty happy with it. Um, got some good feedback, and I got some interest from people in places where I'm pretty weak. So that was nice, actually. It's really nice to like present to a different group. You're focusing.
No, I just pulled these things out to solder them nicely, but
Hey,
then
sorry, give me 1 second. Steph wants me. Sounds good, pal. Hello.
hey,
Should I? Is it? It's not risque for me to be in a robe on YouTube, is it?
no, that's fine. Nobody's watching.
Yeah.
I think actually there's two YouTube watchers and one Twitch watcher. To be fair,
Let's go, Twitch.
do you ever wear your thobe anymore? Seems
No.
super comfy.
What just happened? Oh, this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Steph's making pizza tonight.
Nice lady.
Dude, what a nice lady, honestly. Yeah. Oh, oh, oh.
Laura has somehow figured out how to make the best pizza in Albuquerque, and now I don't bother making pizza anymore.
Does she make it in a cast iron?
No, we're not
Okay,
those
because Steph's
deep
got a
dish Chicago fools.
no. Steph's got a brilliant King Arthur pan pizza
Yeah,
style, and it's just so good. It's not like Chicago. The dough is so light. It's almost like a hybrid between pizza and focaccia. It's like so delicious. It
I
is
see.
really my favorite meal.
Interesting.
Steph, will you get kale? Yeah.
Welcome to Pizza Talk.
What's that? Oh, fuck yeah. All right. Yeah, welcome to discussion of dinner before we've eaten lunch.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, it's a more ceremonial meal, so or supper, I suppose it would be called. Um, oh man, how's life post Mongoose, or sort of?
Good. I made a new prototype that I'm not going to talk about right now, but it's ready. I have the boards coming in from China and a couple of things to come to make a demo video. And pretty much it'll take me 2 hours from the time it gets here till when I can release it with like a video that's clean and not of a prototype that is a bunch of wires hanging out. So that's good. That was sort of like an accidental project that I did. Something actually to do with this trigger that I made, first one. And then yeah, I've been just trying to get some work done. Sometimes successfully, sometimes less successfully. Solder is too bulbous.
Thunder is too bombus. Great word. Great word. I
Won't
feel
fit
like
in the
bulbous
screw port.
is a word that embodies what it means. Like the word is round and kind of, bulbous, the
Yes.
mouth shape. Yeah,
I don't know that it's
bulbous.
exactly onomatopoeia, but I
It's
like
not
it.
an onomatopoeia. It's more like the way that you say it, like gives you an idea of like roundness.
Okay.
I feel like your cheeks puff up when you say bulbous, bulbous. Anyway,
Have you been doing any beatboxing, Bennett?
I mean, just like for fun, nothing serious, obviously. Yeah, I
Last
could beatbox. I mean,
last time we talked, you said you were hanging out on the internet with Ungit and Vinny.
oh God, yeah, that was just a one-time deal, I think.
Oh, sad.
Well, I mean, we can do it again. I'm down. It's just hard. It's like so much of music, at least for me, right, is like rhythm and um, like when you're playing music with someone and you're in the groove, like it's really hard to have that rhythm across a connection like the
Uh huh.
internet where you have like because a little delay is that's a big deal, right? Like
Uh huh.
yeah, when you're counting music and like you have a half second lag, like you're in the wrong measure.
Uh huh.
So yeah, you know how it goes though.
I mean,
But it was fun.
from a
It was fun.
theoretical perspective.
Yeah, well, you know how to count music, right?
Yeah, one music, two music, three
No,
musics.
that's
How many?
do you know how to
How
count
many?
music or no?
Yeah, I was just doing it. How many musics you got?
Like at least I think 4-4. I'm not
I got
sure.
like 1,000 musics on my MP3 player. I
I
counted them
forget
all one by one.
I forget the name of that really budget one. The little shuffle, like that, like didn't give you control over what song was playing. It
Oh
just had
yeah,
to skip it.
I used to. I bought an iPod Shuffle on eBay when we were back in college for the dark room, and it showed up, and it was a bootleg iPod Shuffle or whatever, which explained the good deal. And it just like never, it just played like three songs over and over. But it was, I don't know, $16 with shipping back then. I was like, I'm not gonna return it, and so I just listened to the same three songs over and over in the dark room.
Dude, that is disturbing.
Three musics, like a psychopath.
One music, two music, three music.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, I'm so excited. I'm getting vaccinated next week. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was on the phone when you got the appointment. I was very jealous.
Yeah,
The kids say.
and yeah, not too much else. Today I will go in as part of my job and help someone use a mass spec, and yeah, then I'll just like tend to the worms and get some samples ready. It's like all very time consuming, but not super productive.
Hmm. Welcome to my world right now.
Fucking I, man. Yeah, I'm almost done with this manuscript. I've been absolutely gutting myself, just like trying to make the figures perfect. And I'm getting happy. The more I work on it, the happier I get. So that's cool. I'm really close now. I feel like, um, yeah, I'm maybe it's March 18th. I can probably I maybe submit by my birthday, which is the 30th. So I think that would be a good birthday present to myself.
Cool. Are you getting bar
Yeah.
mitzvahed?
Hmm. Yeah. It'll
uh,
be yeah. It's been a while, man. My bar mitzvah was 1999, so
3 years ago, I went. It was a good time.
it was a really good time. Yeah, 1999 is permanently 6 years ago. you know how you're 37 now? Is that right?
I am going to turn 36 this year.
Oh, wait a second.
Wait, are you turning 35 this year?
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude?
Wait, how old are you now?
34.
Yeah, I'm 35.
Why do you always act like you're so much older than me?
I am so much older.
What is wrong with you? You're born in 80. You're born in 85.
84, but the end of the year, right? So this year I will
Dude,
turn.
no, you're turning 37. You fucking
Am I?
clown.
I don't even know
Do
how
the math. From
I.
84 to 2021.
Right, but in 80,
37.
yeah, but in 84 94, I was 0.
No, you fucking
In
tool.
94,
You're
I
older
turned
than me,
10.
too.
Let's see. Maybe I'm 36. I don't know.
You're 36, bro. At the year end of 2020, you turned 36.
Okay, so I'm 36. If you say so. You're
If
the
you say so.
biologist.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, how can it be that we're gonna be the same age for a little? I never thought that happened before.
Yeah, that probably
Oh,
didn't happen. I've always been very much more mature.
very much. That's true.
Yeah, that's not true, but it's funny.
I mean, that was all very funny, I thought. Let's see. Yeah, not too much, dude. Not too much going on. Steph's learning how to quilt right now.
Hmm,
She's enjoying it.
interesting. Maybe Steph needs a laser cutter for making complicated quilt patterns.
Um, honestly, she would probably enjoy it.
Hmm,
Although
interesting.
the beauty of quilting, as I'm learning, is that you can make really complicated patterns um, by, uh, let's say you have a pattern that's like a 9 by 9, but then you sew that over and over, and then rotate that, and then have them next to each other. So you have like one square that's maybe like triangles facing one direction, but then you place them all next to each other to make a much more intricate pattern. So there's a lot of like, I don't want to say it's like trickery, but yeah, it's kind of like an optical illusion. Like the complicated quilts are oftentimes a simpler repeating unit that then
Hmm.
is just next to itself and then like transposed in various ways.
Interesting. Hey, hang on one
Yeah,
second. I
it's
gotta
very
grab two
interesting.
more glue sticks. I'll be right back.
All right, I think I'm gonna get some clothes on, so I'll be back too. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch stream?
All right, I'm back.
I was just talking to your Twitch stream.
Oh yeah, there's maybe two people watching.
Do they chat in there?
Sometimes, yeah. My friend Nick
I
chatted
wonder
this
if
morning.
they're on here for like ASMR purposes because you're like doing this methodical assembly and you have that beautiful baritone profundo.
uh, Buffundo. Um,
I think it's a basso profundo, right? It's like the profound bass.
I like Buffundo better. Uh,
Well, you would.
um, yeah, so I think sometimes I have like a soldering stream going where I put the camera overhead and you can just watch me solder for hours, which I think some people are watching for ASMR purposes if they're watching at all. But I don't know. I think there's probably more chill things to watch. But I definitely watch people solder uh, on YouTube here and there. Put this box back together.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, so I mean, this is like prototype style where you just take a box and cut some holes in it and glue everything rather than, for a one off, I'm not going to, at this point, while I'm busy, I might make Jeff a nice one with like mounting holes and a beautiful, what do you say, like 3D printed case or laser cut case. But for now, a little black box that is glued together is functionally equal and just takes a few glue sticks instead of 5 or 6 hours in CAD and 10 hours to see if it prints well, and another day to debug it. Okay. I use a
I'm
lot of
always
hot
good
melt
for
glue.
singing now.
Oh, really? Like,
Yeah, because I'm looking up basso profundo.
oh, I see. You should get on r/mechanical pencils. It's awesome. Um,
Huh. I can't hear this. Why? Is this using my headset and then I can't hear anything else? That's rude.
Unclear. I'm gonna let you figure that out and go grab another camera in the house so I can make a quick video of this as proof that I made something that works before I ship it, because I've been annoying this guy forever, back and forth with this thing. But give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Mm.
Okay, you still there? Turn this off. Turn this off. Okay. Let's see. Prop this guy up. I need a light source, and my phone is dead. Let's see. I'm going to use OBS to uh, record this video. And let me grab a flashlight. Where is my headlamp? Okay, so I'm gonna start recording here and make a little video. Start recording. Okay, this is the Chemerdactyl Mongoose with the version 2 prototype of the electromechanical trigger. So I'm gonna plug this trigger in over here. Turn the Mongoose on. Make sure the film is loaded. Go into automatic mode and watch it do its thing. So here it's making a base calibration pass, and it will rewind. There we go. And it's going to find a frame, align it, take a picture. Align it and take a picture. Align it and take a picture. And it is working, and now we have an electromechanical trigger that should trigger the pen F digital and not interfere with automatic mode. Cool. All right, so I finished that recording. And I guess now I just got to pack this thing up for the day. And thanks for watching. I'm going to get off stream. I'll be back sometime the next time I have some tedious things to do. All right, have a nice